Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel where I discuss wisdom for the modern man. This is my second live stream for the day, actually. If you caught the first one, I appreciate that. This one's my second one, and as you guys can see by the topic, we're going to be discussing whether or not a man is insecure for caring about a woman's past. Now, this is a very popular topic, and I wanted to get into it. But of course, these kind of we're gonna discuss, relevant topics as it, pertains to dating. But it's more so just for us to be able to have a discussion. You guys, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think on the topic. Give me your feedback, and overall, let's just have a good time, get some enjoyment out of this. Because honestly, I find these videos, these things that I react to, honestly quite hilarious. The responses. Good to just chill out a little bit and just have a good time and just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too serious. But yeah, today actually we're going to be reacting to a video from a clip from the Whatever podcast. It's about, I'd say about 40 something minutes long. And yeah, we're just going to get into the topic and see what they have to say on it and get their live reaction. So without further ado, let's get right into the video, guys.
You guys said you disagree that men are, the thing is men are not insecure for caring about a woman's body count. You both disagreed. Why is that?
I circled it.
You did circle it, Deborah.
I disagree, meaning I do think he's insecure for caring about body count.
Yeah, I think I circled out too.
Huh?
I disagree, meaning I do think it's insecure to care about body count.
Do you know what disagree means?
What was this? Men are insecure.
Yes.
Yeah, and I disagreed with that statement, meaning
Yes.
men are insecure for worrying about body count.
Right.
Yes.
That's saying men aren't. Men
He's
are
asking
not
me
insecure.
why do you think that?
Do you know the definition of...
She thinks men are insecure for it.
Yeah,
No, I
I
know.
disagree with the
Yes.
statement, meaning yes, men are insecure for thinking that, for being concerned about that.
Okay. Right. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Brian.
I guess I
So-
also circled it, but not for the same reason. I don't think insecure is the right word for it necessarily. I don't think it makes them insecure. I just think, I don't know why I
I just think it
disagree
makes
with
them
that. And
insecure.
saying, I just feel like insecure is a weird word to use to describe that. I think both people, partners in a relationship, should have some level of concern at all, or they don't, that's fine, and then they would be a good match for each other. But I think it's very normal and healthy to have some concern about that for bonding, because it makes it harder to bond with people. But
I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section, because I know there are guys who genuinely don't care. I find it very strange that they don't. I mean, I'm not judging. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? Can't really force that. But yeah, I know there's some guys who really don't care. I know this one guy, and his girl has a wild past, and he's aware of it. And, they talk about it, and he has kind of a wild past as well. But, he doesn't have any issues with it. And, no one's forcing you to have an issue with it. I mean, I advise you to take it into consideration because it can absolutely backfire on you. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you care? Do you not care? Do you kind of care? Do you care under certain circumstances? Let me know.
insecure is just not, I wouldn't call a man insecure for being concerned.
And why are men insecure if they care about a woman's body count?
Because like I said, why is that any of your business? Like, you weren't part of the picture. Maybe if you came to my life sooner, I met the love of my life, I wouldn't have gone around sleeping with this guy, that guy.
Would you say that you don't...
Wait, but I mean, just because the guy you were supposed to be with hasn't arrived yet, doesn't mean you should just be sleeping around with random dudes indiscriminately. That still shows a lot about your character. So that wasn't a very good argument. Just because you didn't arrive sooner, that's why I was hoeing around. It's like, there's women who waited on their husbands, and they didn't sleep around. Like, what? Like, my mother was a virgin on her wedding night, and she met my dad, I think when she was, 25 or so? Probably younger than that. Maybe a little younger than that. But she wasn't hoeing around. So that's not a good argument at all.
I think it's fair. Like, would it not be fair for a guy, you tell him your body count, and because of your body count, he doesn't want to date you? Would that be unfair?
I
No.
think that would be insecure.
insecure. So
I don't
he's
think
not,
it's unfair because people have their preferences.
Okay, but he would be insecure.
Yeah, because why does me being with other men before you're even there like bother you so much? Are you trying to? That's
Well,
kind
wouldn't
of
it be a mark of security? So if the idea is that a person has boundaries and preferences, and they're
Yeah.
willing to enforce those preferences, it seems like it's the most secure thing you can do.
But you
It
can't
is.
like
It honestly is.
base someone's behavior from when they're single, like let that
Why
affect
not?
how they would act when
Why
they're in a
not?
relationship.
Yes, you can.
Because that's
Yeah,
when
why-
I'm
why can't
single.
you?
I wouldn't go sleep around with
Complete
random
different
people
people,
when
single
I'm
and
in a
not single.
relationship.
Well,
Well, no. Like the fact that you would do that in any situation still says a lot about you. Like, and absolutely, if a girl is promiscuous, that will have effects in a committed relationship. They try to pretend like it's separate. Well, the promiscuous, wild version of my single self has no bearing on my, relationship committed self. Yes, it does in a big way. And you'd be foolish to think otherwise. Like it has a effect on her bonding capabilities. It has her effect on how she views sex in general. It's just more of a, casual thing. It lacks that true level of intimacy, and it no longer serves its purpose as a bonding thing. It's just an act. It's just an act, and it's something she could do with anybody. She meets the hot guy at work, and because sex for majority of her, dating experience has just been a casual thing, I mean, her sleeping with him is, from her perspective, if she were to get with the hot guy at work while she's in a relationship with you, well, it's no big deal because it's just sex. It's just sex. They begin to take on a male mentality around the whole idea of sex, which is inherently bad because women are supposed to view sex as very sacred and something to do for fun. Well, then that hot guy's there and it's no big deal, so why not?
I mean, actually, the best predictor for future behavior is past behavior. So, I mean, this
Being
is-
single, you can
Wait,
say my
did you get
past
a-
behavior
did you
in
get a-
relationships.
Who's the psychology degree person?
Me.
Yeah, this is actually like a psychological
But you
principle.
can't compare someone being single to them being in a relationship. They act
Yeah,
totally
no,
different.
Two different
agree.
people.
I mean, I agree with this point. I don't think you're making a bad point that people can reform and all different sorts of things. I'm not even disagreeing with that. I'm only disagreeing about one point, which
What?
is the idea of insecurity. If you have boundaries on what your preferences are and you're not willing to compromise on those boundaries, doesn't that show security, not insecurity?
I feel like you should be secure with your partner, knowing that they're with you in the present moment, and moving forward, they wouldn't repeat the past.
That doesn't answer my
things that
question.
they did.
though.
But I feel like it's double standards 'cause men get-
Let me repeat the question so I make sure that you understand the question. If you have boundaries and you enforce those boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that not a sign of security?
It is insecure to be concerned over something superficial.
She still didn't answer the
that
question.
Didn't involve you and would not be repeated with this new bond that you're involved in. Why would
Well, I
you
think
let
it's
external?
It will involve you. It will have an effect on you in many ways. And she's not answering the question. She's doing that for a reason, because it shows far more security to not budge on your morals and values, even at the cost of losing the girl. Like, this is what I stand on. If you don't align with it, unfortunately, I can't get with you. That shows way more security than someone who's willing to budge and adjust so that he can keep you around. But they don't like that because when a man does that, it eliminates them. It's not insecure at all. But like I said, I want to hear what you guys have to think. Security, insecurity, let me know.
External factors affect something like a whole different situation. I think it's insecure to worry about. It's kind of like don't worry about things that are out of your control type of thing. Like it's
But
kind of
dating you
insecure
is
to be
within
thinking
my
about what they're
control.
doing
When
when
you-
you weren't
they
even
don't
in the
have
picture.
Isn't it insecure to try to make a person compromise on their boundaries for your benefit?
Exactly.
No, because then that's just preference. If they don't need to be with me, I said I would respect if a man didn't want to be with me because of my
Yeah,
body
but
count.
what would make that? But the point here is
Because
what
why are
makes
you
it
so worried about what I
insecure,
did
so-
before you? Like, why does that affect you
Because
and us presently?
because you're enforcing your preference. You're enforcing your preference.
Why does that affect? Why do you care so much about my past and my body count? How does it affect you presently? That's a good question, guys. How does it affect you presently? Let me know in the comments. How does that affect you presently. And if you're just tuning in, I appreciate you guys for coming in and watching the live stream. The topic is, should a man care about a woman's past? Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it later on. But I wanted to kind of zero in on that question. How does her past affect you presently? Now, I have a lot to say on that. I can give a lot of ways that it affects a man presently. Women seem to think that it doesn't, though. They seem to think that it just has no bearing. It will have no effect. It couldn't be more wrong. But I'm going to let this go on for a little further before I actually give my opinion on that.
In your bound. An insecure person would be somebody who would compromise on their own boundaries, right?
But an insecure person is someone who's even concerned about that. It's like calling a woman insecure for saying like, oh, why are you liking her photos on Instagram? But me being secure is me respecting my relationship boundaries. Like, you shouldn't be liking all these women's pictures.
Okay, well, let's
But they're going to call me insecure for getting upset over them.
Is it
doing
insecure?
I don't think a woman's insecure for that. I don't think a man should be liking other girls' pictures. Now, this is where I differ from like a lot of the red pill guys. A lot of the take of a lot of the major red pill guys is that the man should be able to just do whatever and have, just sleep around with other girls while he's in a relationship, like other girls' photos, and basically have no consequences because he is the one paying the bills, because he's the one providing for the woman. The woman can have zero say in his conduct and how he presents himself, in his actions or anything. I disagree. Now, do I think it's equal? Absolutely not. But if a woman were to say, listen, I don't like the fact that you are liking other women's pictures on Instagram. Well, first of all, you as a man should not be giving these hoes free attention. That girl that you're liking her photo is not going to reach out to you. Is served to gas up her ego and create more of an issue for the next guy who wants to deal with her. So literally it's pointless, and it's just adding and, it's just really just serving to basically bolster the simp epidemic and gas up these girls' egos. So don't do that. Second of all, it's not insecure for her to ask that of you. It's very normal. Like, nobody should be out doing that. There's this weird idea in the red pill space nowadays that, a man should just have no boundaries, anything goes, as long as he's a provider, as long as he's just, paying the bills, he should be able to just move wild. It's like, no, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. You wouldn't want your girl liking other guys' photos. Why would she like you doing that? And most people are not going to have this extreme, like, red pill kind of relationship where the man is this super provider and, just providing this crazy big lifestyle, and the girl is just a stay-at-home, do-nothing kind of girlfriend, just, supporting him and doesn't have to provide at all. Most men are going to have like a regular relationship where both parties are going to have to work, going to have to, do the daily chores. That's the normal relationship. A lot of times we go with these extreme scenarios of like the super rich guy whose girlfriend just sits at home and she's a pampered princess and all she has to do is give sex and shut up and do what he says. Most men are not going to have that kind of relationship. Most men are not going to have a relationship where they are going to be able to just sleep around with a bunch of women while still having their main girl. Like, most men have never even experienced anything remotely close to that. And so to give advice like a woman has no say or she's insecure and you should be able to like other girls' photos, that's crazy. Like, you shouldn't be liking photos in the first place. And it's very normal and I think reasonable for your girl to ask you not to do that. The same way it's reasonable for you to ask and expect her not to do that. That's just my take. I know a lot of guys think differently, but I'm not with the extreme red pill takes. Like, I give advice for the majority of people and the lifestyles that the majority of people are gonna live.
To not, like, let's say that you really loved the chick, you thought she was great, and then you found out she had genital herpes, and so you said, okay, I'm going to end this relationship because I don't want to be with somebody who has genital herpes. Is that insecurity?
No, that's bringing a health concern into it.
But it happened before. It happened before. right? Had nothing
But that
to
is
do with
something
him. It
that
happened
affects your
before.
present partner. That is a health concern. But all the other hookups before, if you never caught anything, none of that affects your current partner.
And you did it safely.
Yes, it
then
does.
shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, sure. It's a help.
Bro, yes, it does. No, actually, know what? I'm not gonna get into it yet because there's so many ways it affects your current partner. Oh my gosh! But I'm gonna let them keep talking.
It's a health concern, right? But it still conflates to preference. So some people's preferences, this health concern wouldn't bother them. For other people, the health concern would bother them. They're just enforcing their preference, right? They're
Well, it's
saying,
just my for not letting him interact with
Yeah,
girls.
I
It's
understand
not.
that some people would say that. I'm not saying that it's an insecurity that you have boundaries, and because you have boundaries, you're willing to enforce them. That's not insecure. That seems like it's a sign of being secure. Insecure seems to me like a person who's willing to wane on their boundaries or in some way throw them out the window. That seems like a sign of insecurity.
I think insecurity is more not feeling secure. You wouldn't be worried about who your partner was with before.
That's not insecurity, bro. It's literally all that worrying about a woman's past is. It's basically just putting yourself in the best scenario to get the best results. We do that in everything. We do that in everything in life. It's the reason why you put on a seatbelt. Because you know what? I want to ensure the best outcome for myself. And that means I have to put on my seatbelt so that I get to my destination safely. It raises the likelihood that I have a positive outcome. It's the same way we do anything in life. That's why we get car insurance. It's why we go to the gym. It raises the likelihood that I'm going to have a healthy life. It's why we take vitamins. It's literally why you do everything. You always have that in the back of your head. I'm going to make the decision that's going to ensure the best outcome. A girl with not dating a woman with a high body count is just like putting on your seatbelt. I'm making a decision to ensure I get the best outcome out of any particular situation. That's all that is. But because you making the best decision for yourself may disqualify them because of their choices, they say that's insecurity. It's not. It's not insecurity. It's not at all. I mean, that's like saying a girl not wanting to get with a guy who was, previously in sleeping with men. Well, she's insecure. He doesn't have any STDs, and he doesn't, he's not gay anymore. So why don't you just get with him? Well, you're insecure. Well, he might go back and what if he turns back gay and starts messing around with guys? And well, why does that matter? That was in his past. Like, bro, it doesn't make you insecure. It means, you know what? He could slip back. So I'm going to make the best decision I can in the moment and just get with a regular guy who's always been straight. It's the same thing. Anything that disqualifies a woman, they will call you insecure for. If you make a decision or have a set of boundaries and standards that disqualify them for their personal life choices, they're going to say that's insecurity. It's really just a preference, but it's insecurity. But if accomplishments or, sexual background, it's completely fine and rational for them to disqualify you. It makes no sense. But of course, they're going to say you're insecure.
You or who your partner is interacting with online, if you're secure enough with all that, I think it is insecure to be worried about those superficial things that do not concern
it's
you
superficial.
Might
presently.
I jump in really quick?
Superficial.
Do you think a man would be insecure if he didn't want to date a woman because she had a body count of 100?
No. Wait, can you repeat that?
But what is that?
100's
have to do
crazy.
with him?
This is
Like-
totally central to the conversation. Oh, no. Oh, wait, you were answering it. What does that have to do with him?
Also, let me know, what's the highest body count you've encountered personally? Not heard of online, personal encounter. You met a girl, maybe you were dating a girl, or went on a date with her, or maybe it's a friend you know. It doesn't have to be dating. Maybe it's just a girl you know that's your friend, or a girl you work with, but a girl you met personally. What's the highest body count you've encountered? For me, the highest body count I've encountered, I know for a fact one was in the 70s. Crazy enough, that girl was 18, bro. Like, I'm not even joking. 18, it was in the 70s. And that's not me making making that up. That's what she told me. That's what she told me. And she told me at least 60 something. At least 60 something. So that's just her ballparking it. I kind of forgot the number, but at least 60. So you know you got to add on at least 10, 18 years old. She won. And I know another one that's got to be like pushing 80 minimum. Personally, those are the two highest that I know personally. But I want to know, what's the highest you guys ever encountered in your life? Because I know they're getting wild out here. They're getting said the girls I'm talking about. One was 18 when she told me. The other one, 23. Still currently know her. She's 23. The 80 body count one, 23. Yeah, pretty wild. But let me know. What's the highest you guys have encountered?
Yeah.
So, okay, just so we're clear, there would be no and I'll even grant you that there's no STDs involved. Somehow she's fucking played Russian roulette with her pussy, still didn't get an STD. 1,000 men. She's been with 1,000 men before him, still insecure.
Crazy.
As long as she's not still talking to those men, or nothing's gonna happen
Wow.
during this
10,000.
relationship.
Damn.
She's been with 10,000 men before him, still insecure.
What is there to complain about though? Like, is her coochie a problem? That's just a matter
Yeah,
of like
I'll tell you. I'll explain it.
possession and trying to objectify someone and be like,
Possession.
oh, you're
You
like
literally
worthless
look
to
through
me
your
when
fucking
you've
ex's
been
phone.
experienced by other people.
You're like stalking who he's following. You're
But that's
possessive.
present. That's present moment. But what happened before doesn't matter.
I bet you
Yeah, but
still
what
get
about
jealous
what's
of the
revolting?
chicks he used to fuck.
Me personally,
Bro.
yes. I'm insecure. I can admit that.
Oh, okay,
but
sure.
I would admit that it's insecure for a man too.
No.
Yeah, but why would it be insecure if, like, you do realize that men have a revolt factor in them, right? And for good reason. They have a revolt factor for good reason. The idea being that the less men that a woman has been with, the more likely that you can secure paternity, right? So this is the idea. The idea is that until modern times in paternity tests, the only way you could determine if a child was yours is if. So it's wired into men to have a revolt factor to a woman's promiscuous behavior, right? It's actually wired in. So if that's the case, right, then the premise here is, hey, they find it revolting. Why would it be a sign of insecurity to you know, for some reason do the thing you thought was revolting? It just seems the opposite to me.
And also, to add on to that, in many places, it's illegal to get a paternity test, right? You can get in trouble for getting a paternity test for your kids. So even though we have the technology to be able to ensure paternity and let the man know, it's not written into law, right? It should be mandatory paternity tests at birth. That's not the case. So it's not even like the man. And on top of that, you can get in trouble in a lot of places for doing it without the woman's consent. So yeah, if those are the case where a man doesn't get mandatory paternity testing, and in many cases he can get in trouble for doing it, then it have a pass. That way he has a higher likelihood of getting a good outcome, right? Like there's so many reasons. I'm going to get into my major reasons in a little bit, but I want them to I want to hear more of what the panelists have to say on the topic. And Andrew, he's cooking right now and really making them think about why it is a man cares from his perspective. But yeah, I'm going to give my take a little bit further on.
But isn't it also biologically ingrained in women to find a provider and such like that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
I think so.
not random
So-
dick.
And they knew that men generally tend to find higher body counts to be revolting. If women were moving towards that, you would think that they would keep their body counts low on purpose, right?
And that's what they used to do, right? Women knew this. And here's the thing. Women still know men don't want a woman with a high body count, which is why I did the video. My very first live stream, if you haven't seen it, you guys go back and watch it. It was about virtue. Well, what is faking virtue? It's when a woman presents herself as a wholesome woman, a woman who doesn't get around, doesn't move a certain way, when in reality she does. Example, She is a woman who sleeps with guys on the first date, but she meets a guy that she wants to be in a relationship with, and she passes herself off as a woman who doesn't get around. She makes the guy wait three months before sleeping with him. She, tells the guy jump through all these hoops so that he believes that she's a wholesome woman who values her virtue and her purity, when in reality, she's only doing that for him to trick the guy into believing that she's that way, when in reality, she's a girl who actually gives it up on the first date. So women know that. They know that men don't like this, which is why they will fake it when they meet you and you come off as boyfriend material. They'll say, oh, okay, I can't be a hoe with this guy. I can't sleep with him on the first date because I know he wants a woman who has a certain level of decency and virtue. So I have to now put on this act. They are aware of this. Don't let them fool you that, oh, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, when you met that guy, you would have slept with him on the first date like you did all the other men that you found attractive. But why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why is there two sets of treatment? One for the F-boy you meet at the party. I don't see a future with him, so I'm just going to sleep with him quick. And then one for the good guy, the boyfriend material. I can see a future with him, so I'm going to withhold and put on this versions of yourself. You know it matters. And you know to a good man, it matters even more. So that's why they do it. So they know this, guys. The thing is, they want to have their cake and eat it too. And they're betting on you being desperate and a fool and not understanding your value or their value and accepting them. Basically bending your rules, bending your principles, and accepting a woman like that. That's why you can't be desperate, because that will lead you to bending your principles and your values to get any chick. And that's why you can't be a pushover and you got to have options. Because if you have options, a girl presents herself like this to you, and you could just, on to the next one. But so many men are desperate, bro. Like, I meet too many desperate men. And they just, any pretty girl that happens to come their way, it's like, well, this is all I got, so I better take it. And then a lot of times they'll lie to themselves, and because they'll find out that the girl they got with has a high body count or has a wild past, and they know they don't have any more options. So they have to kind of rationalize to themselves why they don't care or why it doesn't matter. It does care, but they have to fool themselves or trick themselves into believing it doesn't, so they can live with the fact that they are actually in a relationship with a hoe. It's a sad place to be. It's a sad place to be.
Like, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but not all men care about that type of stuff, and so
well,
I think
that's true.
But the best men do.
But the type of men that you would probably want probably care about that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but then there's a type of men who care about what the woman's body count is, but totally dismisses what his own body count is.
And that's what double
That's
standards
because
come
women
in.
tend to not care about that at all. In fact, it's the opposite. It's very bizarre. And this has always been a strange phenomenon to me. But I've actually seen men who are virgins in their 30s if other women don't desire you.
That is so true, man. Like, every time I'm talking to a chick, and well, not every time, but I'll have conversations with women, and they will be talking about, I don't know if you guys ever dated or talked to a girl casually who had like sugar daddies and stuff, but I have. And I've also, just talked to women, and you'll hear them when they bring up men who they think about their lack of ability to get sex. Oh, he gets no pussy. Oh, he's actually a lame. Like, he just doesn't get laid. Like, they always shame the man for his lack of ability to get sex. They never shame him for having too much sex. All the time. So this is just a double standard. In fact, bro, look, I had a situation, right, where this chick was seeking out, it was a virgin, and she was seeking out a guy to lose her virginity with. And she wasn't seeking out inexperienced men. She wasn't. She was looking for a guy who had a lot of experience in that department, right? But even the girls with no experience want a guy with a lot of experience because they don't want to have to take on that kind of the leadership role in the bedroom and like take the lead. So Bro, this idea that a guy doesn't take his body count into consideration is because y'all don't care. Trust me, if women were disqualifying men based on their body count, trust me, men would be lying about it as well, or they would be just intentionally keeping it low. But it's actually opposite. If a man doesn't have a certain amount of experience, that's when women start disqualifying him. That's when women start looking at him as funny, as weird, as, oh, other women don't find you valuable, and because they haven't given you sex, that's a clear indication that I shouldn't get with you because other of the group. This is why if a guy has shown himself on the opposite side to get a lot of sex, and a lot of other women have been with him, she knows, even if he's not good for a long-term thing, she knows, oh, well, that's probably a good bet for a casual situation. That's probably a good bet for a fun time. Bro, it's not the same. It's not the same. If women cared, men would adjust and either keep a low body count or they would lie about it. But instead of lying, pretend that it's high. Why? Because women like men who have experience. So don't get on us for not taking it into consideration. Get on yourself. The fact that you don't care is the issue. We care. You don't. So you can't do a tit for tat on that.
There must be something wrong with you. I've actually seen that, but I don't really see that phenomenon in reverse, which is strange. Men definitely desire women who have no body count. They definitely desire that. But
some men like their women a little seasoned. Maybe they're a little more experienced.
But most of
No
them just
man
want a
likes-
virgin. So you guys just go date a
Seasoned
15-year-old then. It hasn't.
No man likes his woman seasoned, bro. That's just a cope. That is what men who can't get women say to make themselves feel better about their lack of options. Let's be real. Let's be real. No man's ideal choice is a seasoned woman. Seasoned being been around town, had a wild past, lots of bodies. There's no benefit that a man gets from that. There's no benefit that a man gets from a seasoned woman. That's gross. That's gross, bro.
Don't you like what?
why?
So you wouldn't ask
Wait.
your man
I don't
for his,
understand
body count?
why the assumption.
So is it
has
not
to
weird
be-
for a 40-year-old to be a
ass,
virgin? Because my brother's a 40-year-old and he's a virgin. He's a virgin. He's 40.
What about him?
I find that kind of weird.
It's even shit.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Well, that makes sense, right? I think.
Even your own sister, your own flesh and blood thinks you're weird. You see what I mean? For having a low body count. But she would think he was normal if he had a high one. You see the difference? This is why men don't take body count into a consideration. Because y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. That's just how it is. We're different.
40
Most
at that
women
point,
would say that's
getting
weird.
old.
That's weird. That's odd. That's strange that he's 40 and a virgin, right? This actually is making my point for me. And so what does she do immediately? She's like, oh, well, if you want a virgin, go find a 15-year-old. What does the big 15 have to do with their virginity?
Yeah, and that's not even going to work because, well, of course, she said that because she wants to shame men. Because anytime a guy doesn't want a high body count, women associate having a low body count with being super young. And they'll try to shame you in a way to kind of say that you're a predator or a pedophile for wanting or desiring a virtuous woman. But so they'll say, oh, why don't you just, oh, so you want a 15-year-old? Oh, so you want a 16-year-old? It's like, well, first of all, no, we only deal with the legal age. And second of all, 16, so you're not even going to get, and they start pretty young nowadays. And they start getting wild pretty young. Think about it. Back in the day, man, before social media got super sexualized and super accessible, man, growing up, sex wasn't in my face like that, bro. These young kids about and what they're engaging in, I'm just like, bruh, you're 10, 11. What do you know or even care about sex or girls or dating? I wasn't even thinking about any of that stuff back then, bro. I was literally just thinking about playing video games and what I was going to do after school, meeting up with the guys and just that's it, bro. Playing outside, going swimming. There was not this whole sexual thing, bro. Sex was the furthest thing from my mind. But nowadays, bro, with TikTok, with all these young kids given cell phones like since they were babies, and literally have elementary school kids with high-end smartphones with TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, where they can see all this sexual content from day one, they'll have access to all this sexual stuff, which warps their brain. So they start engaging in this sexual activity super young. So it's becoming like, even if you were to go extremely young, like the body counts from like 15, 16, bro, they're getting higher and higher. So it's not what you think. She was using it as a shaming tactic, but bro, you're not gonna find a chick with a low body count just because you go young. Maybe once upon a time, but not anymore, bro. Like I said, that girl who I'm common nowadays, it's just coming to light more, and women are becoming more emboldened because of the sexual revolution and the sexual empowerment, and because they can like monetize it and get money for being a hoe. So they're becoming more emboldened to just say this stuff and not care about the the long-term rocketing. It's getting wild.
All of that is just a straight up shaming tactic. It's all shaming tactic to just tell a man it's inappropriate for you to not want a woman with a high body count. So that's just insane.
And actually, it's interesting. Like the 40-year-old male virgin is like a lot of women, like the women that would date him in terms of like, you know, respective age or whatever. The women in that age range, that's going to probably be a big red flag for vast majority of women. But like somehow there's a 40-year-old virgin woman. I would argue that she's going to be pretty highly coveted by a lot of men in her own age range. They're going to be like, whoa,
yeah,
that's rare.
Be like a unicorn.
Whereas the dude's going to be looked at as a weirdo, right?
Exactly. And I want to know, because we talked about, like, I asked the question earlier, what's the highest body count on a woman that you've personally, you know, encountered? But I also want to know, what's the oldest virgin that you've ever encountered? Because for me, it was 26. There was a girl that I dated, surprisingly, who was 26 and a virgin. And that blew my mind. But there's an eye-opening thing that I learned from meeting her and this other virgin. There was only 2 virgins that I've ever dated because they're so rare. And yeah, they both had the same situation. One was young, one was like 19, and the other was 26, but they had the same exact situation, right? And I'll explain that. I'll get into that because I want to know what you guys think about this, because it's something I've been thinking about. There's not a lot of virgins out there. There really isn't, because like I mentioned, most women lose their virginity from like 14, 15, 16, and then it's gone. So the likelihood of you meeting a heterosexual woman who's always been into men from day one to the moment you meet her, more than likely she lost it around 15, 16, and then has had 1, 2, 3, 4, or if she's really wild, more up until the point where you meet her at around 23, 22, 24, around that age. But the scenario that I found, the 2 virgins that I found, the scenario that what led them to still being virgins at that age was because at ages 14, 15, 16, when most women were losing their virginity, they were actually only into girls. So they were lesbian and not bisexual, strictly women, strictly girls. So when other girls were losing their virginity, they weren't. They were dating other girls. And what tends to happen, and what I've noticed, is that women who believe that they're lesbian from a young age will date women to mid-20s, and then at some point, they just can't take it anymore. Because lesbian relationships are extremely chaotic, extremely toxic. I mean, the data shows that they have the highest domestic violence rates. And, you know, I always think of lesbian relationships like two black belts, two masters of the toxic arts, just like clashing at all times. Like freaking Goku and Vegeta, bro. Like just going at it. Just, toxicity here. Firing off a blast of, narcissism and just I always just think of like the most toxic things just going back and forth, just manipulation, backbiting, just untrustworthy behavior, just wilding out. So what happens is the girls will get fed up and just, I can't take it, I can't date girls anymore, I need to give men a try. They get fed up with the toxicity and they need to give men a try. And at that point, if you meet her on that transitional period where she's going from women to men, if you luck out and meet her in that period, that is when you'll encounter a virgin. And that's the two scenarios that where I actually dated a virgin. Was they were both lesbian up until the point where I met them and they were transitioning into dating. But what is the likelihood of you meeting a heterosexual woman before? I think the only way now, unfortunately, is to meet a lesbian in the transitional stage. I think that's probably one of the only ways to meet a virgin in the West, is to luck out and meet a lesbian in a transitional stage. But let me know what you guys think. Have you met like heterosexual women who've been into guys from day one and are now a virgin when you met them at like in their 20s or maybe at 18 or early 20s? I don't see that happening. I've never encountered a woman who was into dudes and has kept her virginity. Only lesbians, bro. The two were lesbians. But let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, dudes gonna be like, that's super weird.
I feel like it depends on the reason too. Like I would be like, why are you a virgin at 40?
Because he lives with his mom and plays video games.
Okay.
Works a job, but I'm like,
that's different.
Weird. Like, go out and
But then
dating
know
life
how
or
to
something, do something.
Be good in bed. So
I personally don't find it like any problem with a virgin man at all.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
If anything, he's
40 is, I would ask, like I said, I would ask.
Bad as sex.
Yeah, right. But that's the whole key, right? The
Then you
whole
can
key
teach
there
them
is
then.
like, you
They're
would
not
ask
teaching you, bro.
because you think it's weird, right? You would ask because you think it's weird.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
the
I would
point.
ask. I would just
It's
ask.
unusual for sure.
Because he could just be like
Yeah.
really religious and he just hasn't found the girl. I don't know.
And that's
That's
cute.
true.
I love that.
Yeah. That's what
Also,
Save
like,
yourself
That's
for
The
marriage.
fact that you think it's weird is the point that I'm trying to make. Right?
Yeah.
The fact that you even think it's
Bro, the fact that she thinks it's cute tells you everything. Oh, that's cute. You think a girl's gonna get with you because she thinks you're cute? Oh, the fact that he's a virgin is cute. Bro. No, she finds it weird. She's not getting with you, bro.
odd to begin with is showing this kind of distinction, which we're looking at, which is that definitely men seem to be very happy with women with low body counts and seem to prefer it if they can get one. Whereas women don't seem to care nearly as much about men having a higher body count. And this could have something to do with the penetrative nature of it. I'm not exactly sure why, but that does seem to be the case.
I mean, I disagree. I personally do care, like, about my man's body count. I feel like it's super important for me to know, especially because sex is such a spiritual thing that in my eyes, I feel like you should only share it with one person, even though I know you guys probably disagree with that. But that's just the reason why I would probably care. I would care.
Well,
a lot,
I
for sure.
agree with you that there's many individual women that would care about this. And there's just like, but if we're talking about the wide scope of women, generally speaking, they don't seem to care as much about it as men care about it. I guess that's the point that I'm after. Not that individual women don't care about it, because I know tons that do.
Quick question for you. You said that, I don't know if you said some men or a lot of men, they prefer their women more seasoned, so like more sexually experienced.
Yeah, some of them do.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Seasoned.
They like
Bro.
to date strippers. OnlyFans
Seasoned
girls.
with
those are
gonorrhea
degenerates,
and AIDS.
But, so
Well seasoned.
I guess my question to you is, do you think, like, realistically speaking, do you think when it comes to the sexual experience component, well, I suppose men would like, a woman who is quote unquote good in bed, although if you're a man and you have some degree of sexual experience, you can have a pretty stellar sexual experience with an inexperienced woman or even a virgin. do you think most men, like if the trade-off is she's marginally better in the bedroom, or even much better in the bedroom, but this entails that she's
Heck no.
I don't think they think about that. Like, oh, she's
They
better in
definitely-
bed. Oh, she's probably fucked more people. Like, it could
Well,
be she's
but-
been in
It's
like
natural.
3
Oh my
goodness.
It's
long-term
natural.
relationships.
Oh, but you gotta like, yes, I agree with, in fact, I may argue this point all the time. A woman who has a low body count, who's been in, 2 relationships, right? 2 long-term relationships. She's probably better in bed than the woman who's had 100 one-night stands with 100 different men
I
and
can
only
agree with
fucked
that.
one man one time.
I can agree with that because of my relationship.
So this idea that the higher the body count, she's going to be better in bed, doesn't really compute necessarily,
I
because
agree. I
she
didn't
could have
agree.
had
say
just a
it's
bunch of one-night
causation.
stands.
I said there's some correlation.
But your whole statement, I don't know why you bring that up, because your whole statement here is we're talking about women with higher body counts, and your position is your argument for like, oh, men would prefer a woman with a higher body count is because she's more seasoned, in other words, more sexual experience. It's
Yeah.
like kind of frustrating, like I don't know.
I'm not saying it's causation necessarily. Sleeping with more people makes you better in bed, but I'm saying that it gives you more experiences. Like maybe that person's more open sexually. They'd be down to have threesomes. They'd be down to go to orgies with you.
Not
Whereas
Bruh.
a virgin,
Whoa,
maybe a
hold on.
virgin would not be as open to those.
Bro, even a girl with a past and a high body count, most of them don't want to share their men. And if you're getting with a girl who wants to do swinging and stuff, then you've already, like, that's a L. Unless you're into that, which most men are not, then, yeah, that's a L, bro. Regardless of how high the body count is, they still don't want to share their man. And no, you're not going to meet that unicorn that is okay with you having threesomes and wilding out, bro. No. No. No.
Why would a
Sexual
guy?
experiences?
But why would a guy who's already? Why would a guy who is already screening for low body count women? Why would he want to?
No,
take her
I
to
said
an
a
orgy?
woman. I said a woman. I said guys who
Why the
prefer
f-
a seasoned woman. You said why would guys prefer seasoned women if necessarily they aren't better in bed? I'm saying maybe their sexual preferences and what they're open to.
So they're a cuck.
No,
You said he wants to bring his girl to an orgy.
no, I
Translation:
said
let other men fuck her.
like being with a stripper. I'd say she might be more open to using sex toys, trying role play, trying threesomes. But if you were to fuck a virgin, maybe she'd be kind of more closed off to those things. That's what I mean by more
Sex
seasoned.
is not this complicated procedure. Look,
It's different for everyone.
but again, I'll ask the question again because you didn't even give me an answer. So the question is, do you think most men, if they get a woman who's a bit better in bed, the trade-off being that she's fucked 20 other dudes,
No.
do you think
No
most
dude's
men
taking
make
that, bro.
trade-off?
Absolutely not.
what trade-off is happening? They're
How
okay.
would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Lightheaded?
Okay. So okay,
She took that round, Brian.
I could repeat myself. I don't know if that will help you understand.
Well,
but
what do you mean by trade-off though? He's okay with her fucking 20 more people because she's a little bit better in bed? Concerned, just be fucking grateful that she's with
Whoa.
you and she's fucking you good. Whether she
Wow.
slept with 20 men before you
Should
or
women-
one guy
should
for a
women just-
long time.
Like in my
Be
case.
grateful, bro. Be grateful
okay,
for the
so-
bodies. That's wild.
You're saying that your position is that body count doesn't matter, and one of the benefits of a woman who has a higher body count is she's more seasoned, she has more sexual experience, and this is going to lead to conceivably better sex. So I'm asking you, do you think most men are willing to make that trade-off of the woman is better in bed, therefore I will accept a woman with a higher body count because she's better in bed?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some
So-
guy wants
so-
a certified
okay.
eater who will make him nut in 5 seconds, or does
Oh
he want
my
the unexperienced
God.
girl who takes an hour to get him off? Like, is
The certified eater is going to be the side chick that he sees on the weekend, bro. The certified eater is going to be the side chick. She's not going to be the wife. Trust me. Nowadays, guys will have their main girl, the wholesome woman, who is, well, most guys actually only are able to get one. But if a guy is able to have multiple chicks, yeah, the girl she's describing with the high body count that could do all the wild tricks in bed and can do it backwards, upside down, this and that. You know, just certified eater, as she puts it. Yeah, oh, he'll have her, but she's gonna be relegated to sex only for fun. It's just always so weird how women can't see how men, you know, view women. There's the two categories. It's like, sure, if you want to fit into that category, sure, but you're not going to get the commitment. It's sad that they can't see that.
It doesn't.
Since when is it women who, like, y'all? Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, there's men. There's like some Coomer fucking degen men. I guess who would prefer that. Do you think most men who like want a girlfriend? Do you think that those men who have a girlfriend, and if the girlfriend is not like up to par sexually, although it's something that can be worked on and communicated and talked of, he would be like, you know what? I just wish you came better experienced already, and the
No,
because like I said, it's not causation. Higher bodies does not equal better in bed.
It's your position.
yeah, she is not getting
your
it.
position. Oh my god, bro. Your position is that a woman with a higher body count is more seasoned.
No, all I said was it doesn't matter how she became good in bed. That's none of your
You're literally
concern.
walking
That
back
should
your
not
own
be
position.
a judgment of character. That should not be a defining factor in your relationship, I feel like, because like I said, if there's no health concern, if there's no loyalty concern, then what is the concern? That's a matter of like objectifying someone, feeling like they're less worthy because they've experienced more. That's just not
Okay.
a good way to value someone.
Okay, you know what? She said a lot. So I'm going to give my point right now, my take on this, because it's starting to piss me off. But look, here's the thing, man. She's making the claim that it has no effect. What is the concern? What's the concern? Her past, it doesn't affect you, right? What? It's not going to affect your future. What's the concern? She doesn't have any STDs, and she's having sex with you good. So why would you be concerned about that? Well, let me tell you something about reputation, right? See, we live in the digital age, and everyone now has a smartphone and access to the internet, and people's reputations are documented now more than ever, especially women, because they're the main ones who use social media. Videos, pictures, screenshots, it's all there, documented, and everybody has it, has access to it. Want to go and get with a girl. And let's say you have a squeaky clean reputation, you've been working on yourself as a man, and you know, you've kept your background clean, you're pushing forward to be someone who's successful and someone who's in the public eye. And now you attach yourself to a girl who has an image, a bad image. Do you know what that could do to your reputation? I'm gonna have to show an example because I think you guys need to see this for yourselves. Give me a second here. Give me a second because a lot of guys need to actually realize just how much a woman can have an effect on your future regardless of your own reputation. You could be a guy who's successful and you get with a certain kind of woman and she absolutely tarnishes it. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this so I can give you guys an example of, because remember the claim was that, it has no effect on your future. Why does it matter? A woman with a past, a woman with a high body count, it won't affect you, it won't come back to harm you, right? All that. Take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Why don't we?
Travis Hunter had to delete his Instagram after a clip of his fiance dancing on another man at a Halloween party he drove her to and waited outside of went viral. Now, for a while now, the internet has been saying a lot about their relationship. They've been calling her a gold digger. They've been questioning why she's been dating him if he wasn't her type to begin with. And even celebrities started stepping out, trying to get a hold of Travis Hunter and put their 2 cents into their relationship. Now, a lot has happened before getting to this point, but we have to start right here. And this is after Travis Hunter's fiance released an 8-minute video on TikTok where she addressed all the allegations of her being a gold digger, her not loving him or respecting him, and she had this to say about all of that.
So when I said he wasn't my type, I meant because he was younger than me. I had never dated no one younger than me, and he had cheated on his girlfriend.
So Twitter detectives did a little bit more hunting, and they find this video of her saying that Travis Hunter used to take his girlfriend to parties and wait outside, then take her home after.
To drink, he doesn't drink. And I'm Hispanic, so I don't know why I never noticed the sleeve in previous videos, but a sleeve? Bruh. But remember, guys, it won't affect your future. Her past, her body count, what does that have to do with you? What does that have to do? It's not going to affect your future. She's clean, bro. That's all that matters. Okay, keep that in mind. Sit outside for hours while I'm inside, like, partying, and then take us home. Like, he never tried to be like, oh, just because I drink, you can't drink, or you can't hang out with your friends, or you can't.
Now, everybody's like, bro, this is cuck material. What are you doing taking your girl to a party and waiting at a car? Usually, in a lot of different scenarios and situations, this wouldn't be a big deal. But because of who she is, and because of the OF allegations, and because of the he's not my type allegations, things aren't looking that good for her. Bow Wow comes out and he's like, bro, let me give you some relationship advice. And this is what he says.
Travie. Check this out, gang. It's coming from your boy Bow Weezy, right? I never met you, don't know you, but I was once young, about to make a lot of money, and I know how this shit go. So I need you to hear me out. Number one, I don't want you feeling as though everybody jumping down your back or cats is hating. That's that young mentality. I want you to look at this like care about you. And especially in our community and in this industry, not a lot of brothers get the opportunity like you about to get. You know what I mean? You about to get the biggest check in your life. You about to go to the NFL, and all we on game. If we didn't give them, let you crash out, but from one player to the next, hey man, I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but I want you to open up your eyes, man. There's no reason why she commenting on another page, NBA with her eyes and the money tongue out. That's your fiance.
That's
Wake
crazy.
up, young brother. Fiancés don't move like that. I ain't never had one of my girls ever lay next to me in the same crib as me under another page, leaving her eyes with the money tongue out. Total violation. That would have been packing up her and getting to my crib that day. I don't even think this woman really love you like that, bro. You gotta watch the signs, man. The woman said you wasn't even her type. If a woman tell me she not down on you, I ain't trying to hate on your situation, but my way.
But remember, guys, it don't matter. And I want to point out this, bro, because I know I'm not the only person with this situation. I didn't know a dang thing about Travis Hunter until his name came into the media for his girlfriend. Think about that. Really think about that. You can have a perfectly good reputation, and not even just a good reputation, an amazing reputation. He just won, what was it, the Heisman Trophy? I don't watch football, but I know he won like a huge thing in pertaining to football. And instead of you being in the media, like, I didn't know him from his football accolades. The only reason, because I don't watch football, I don't know anything about that. Well, I do know about football, but I don't watch it now. The only reason that I know of him is because of your girl. I don't know about you because of you being an accomplished individual that you are. I know about you because of your girl's past, bro. Think about that. This guy, imagine, and then a lot of you don't even have an amazing reputation, but you just have a girl who's a hoe. But think about that, bro. You could have done everything right as a man and built yourself up to be a respectable individual, accomplished man. And merely by attaching yourself to a woman, you could have this happen. You didn't do anything wrong. She was the one moving crazy, but you're suffering the consequences of aligning yourself with her. But remember, guys, based on what they were saying, it doesn't matter. How's it going to affect you in your present? Oh, he seems to be... Bro, they've been cooking him on the internet for months now.
For months now, they've been cooking this guy. He did nothing wrong but get with a hoe. Okay.
After all this stuff is going on, there's a wholesome moment for the Heisman winner Travis Hunter, who brings his fiancée around for some holiday shopping where they give 5 families who cannot afford it some food and gifts. A very kind deed that shows you the character Travis has as a human being. Clearly a publicity stunt, right? They're trying to make themselves look like shut people up. Then it comes out that Travis is like, bro, I can't take this anymore. I can't take these allegations. I can't take what everybody's talking about. It's a lot. And I can't blame bro. I can't imagine going on your phone on Twitter then seeing people make fun of you all the time. Like, that for sure must be very draining. I feel for bro, but he's also putting himself in that position. Now things get a little crazy when there's a music video of his now fiance with another guy. Now usually this probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's just like, if it's getting to this point and people are bringing these things out.
I didn't even know that. This is news to me, bro. I didn't even know, because I don't keep up with social media hot topics like that. I really don't care about other people's lives, but I'm using this as just a learning lesson that this man done nothing wrong personally. All he's done is attach himself to a chick, and he's being dragged for it, bro. But so they will tell you, oh, it doesn't matter who she's been with, the life she's lived prior to you. She's with you, and she's having sex with you good, so you should be happy. Bro, do not align yourself with certain women, bro. Their past will come back. You will pay the consequences for her choices. You will, bro. And it might not show itself in being, plastered all over social media, being clowned, but it'll show itself in her cheating on you during the relationship, her being in an affair for years while you were here committing to her. It will show itself in you being cucked and her having a baby by another man and you raising it for 18 years. It will show itself in a variety of ways, bro. For him, though, the danger when it comes to you being a high status man who's in the public eye and attaching yourself to a girl with a high body count or a past is that now everybody is going to scrutinize you. Because remember, bro, your girl is a byproduct of your girl represents you. So when they see you, it's like, oh, this is a high status individual. They're immediately going to want to see which woman you align yourself with. And they're going to assess her and her value. Is she up to par in terms of the looks department? Is she up to par in terms of her past and her values, how she conducts herself? The public eye is going to make an assessment on your girl. Because a lot of you guys, I know you're pushing to be someone big and, be somebody in the world. People are going to assess your woman. They're going to look at you. Okay, cool. Who's he aligned with? Oh, dang. Her? Oh, I've heard stories about her. Oh, I have videos about her. Wasn't so? Everything's on the internet. Everything's on social media. And women literally post their entire lives on social media now. So it's going to be easy to find. And nowadays, bro, if your girl's been around, I guarantee someone has video of her doing sexual acts on their phone. I'm being so serious, bro. I don't think a lot of guys are aware of that. Like, a woman will be dating a guy casually or be in a relationship or whatever, and they will let the guy record while they're doing the thing, right? So if your girl has been around, there's a high likelihood that multiple men have videos or pictures of her, because now also girls, they sext and they send photos and stuff. So there could be 10, 15 plus guys out there with videos and pictures of explicit videos and pictures of your girl on their phone. And those videos can easily be spread around. Let's say you get famous now and one of these niggas, recognizes your girl. Oh crap, bro, I used to smash her back in the day, bro. And then that blows up. And then other dudes just start saying, oh yeah, me too, bro, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden, your girl and all the videos and content of her like this is all over the internet. And you're just being clowned as the one who wifed her up. Bro, that stuff will come back to haunt you. The internet is a real place, bro. And people will post savage stuff, bro, to clown you because of you aligned yourself with a girl with a past. But let's keep going, bro.
Out, like, they don't want to see you guys together.
Leave me alone, bro. Trap. Check this out, gang.
Let me be me. I've been with my girl for 5 years. All of a sudden this year, y'all want to say something? Leave me alone.
Now, Des Bryant even came out and had some words for Travis Hunter, saying, "I've tried my best to not get into this Travis business, but I had to after seeing this. I'm here to tell you, brother, wake up and quit playing. She talked all that ish about you, saying she was going to address the situation. She thinks she's equal to you. I can tell you're a great dude, and I promise there's a woman out there who's going to make your life easy and respect you. From what I see, she has nothing to offer but a effing headache. What you got to offer, she's not the one." Now, this is her right here in her schoolgirl outfit. This is in 2021 during Halloween. They were 2 years into their relationship, and if what she was saying is true, she drove him. He probably took this picture, and he drove her to this party, right? Just your typical party, red Solo cups. Oh no, that's where things get like, this is clearly not Travis Hunter. So it doesn't.
So wait. So they're dating at this point. Halloween, they're dating. 2 years in, he takes her to a party. And that's her bent over, butt ass on another man. Bruh. But past doesn't matter. She's with you now. Bro, look. All right, let's keep going.
Look,
what else is there? What else?
If your girl is saying that he's taking you to parties and you're dancing on other guys, and they have it in 4K. 4K, you can't even deny it. Like, the tattoos are right there. Same tattoos. You cannot deny that this isn't her.
Yo, they got a video of Travis' girlfriend getting thrashed at a party by dudes. What's going on? Bro, your girl was at a party twerking and getting thrashed by random dudes. Why you outside with it in your car? You allowing this? This crazy, bro.
Yo.
Bro, this was Halloween. She got all the matching tattoos. Yo, Travis, what is this, bro? How you gonna defend this one? Yo, girl out here, you see, you definitely not her type. We know what her type is now. Why you outside running routes? Dudes out there running routes for your shotty.
That's messed up.
And you supporting that? And you out here acting like the media's making things up, bro. I swear to God, if I see a clapping video, it's over, bro. Actually, it's been over. But that video gonna solidify it. You're tripping. Yo. This man Travis so green, bro. Tell my son we don't know her. Clearly, you don't know her.
You don't, bro.
What's that? Yo, that's crazy.
Was he aware that she was doing that while he was out in the car? Like, he didn't know that? Like, that's wild. That's wild, bro. But, man, yeah, dude, I can't imagine that he's gotten a lot of girls because he's moving like this is his first relationship and he's just like, you know, rose-tinted glasses, like head over, so overwhelming that it blinds him to the truth. Like, that's how he's moving right now. He's not moving like a guy who's experienced, who's been in the game, who knows the ins and outs, who knows the good ones from the bad ones, who knows the red flags from the green flags. He's moving like he's totally brand new to the game. And that's why he has this woman who can... She definitely ain't new to the game. You see her in rap videos. You see her twerking on niggas. She ain't new to this, bro. She ain't new to this.
Hell, bro. Oh my God, I never seen a man so.
His reaction to this is deactivating his Instagram after this video comes out, because at this point he has lost. There is nothing he can do or say that would ever fix the situation. He has to be no longer on the media, no more TikToks, no more Instagrams. Like, if he truly cares enough for this girl, he's gonna let it slide and then just never be on the internet, or continue to be on it and just take it like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what his situation is, but they do not.
Bro, that's example number one, bro. Example number one. But you guys also remember the Jake Paul situation? Y'all remember the Jake Paul situation? Or was it Logan Paul? I don't remember. But was it Jake Paul, Logan Paul? I think it was Logan, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, bro, that situation, and he was in a similar thing to him, getting clowned, dragged all over the internet. You know, girl making him look crazy, saying wild stuff on the internet. Bro, matter of fact, bro, let me see if I can find something. It's been a little minute. I don't even know if did they ever get married? Logan Paul and that one chick. I don't even know her name, bro. Let me see something.
All right, let's take a look at this one. This one has a decent amount of views on it. Let's take a look at this one. What do we got here? Let's go. Because we got to really dive into this. Because remember, it doesn't matter, and it's not going to come back to bite you in the butt. All right, well, I hope you don't have any intentions of being a somebody because, yeah.
I need this inside of me. ASAP. Like, all I want is like a big fat sausage just destroying my body. So, if any of you guys know a good get, right here.
Listen, man, Logan Paul has to be a very strong individual because if that was me, I'd be gone like these. So for those of you that live under a rock and don't know what's going on, Logan has a fight coming up with Dylan Dennis. And I didn't know who Dylan Dennis was until this whole debacle. Can't believe I just said debacle. We're using vocab words today. This man Dylan has been posting photos back to back to back to back of Logan's fiancée with half of Hollywood. Allegedly.
Good Lord.
How is he getting all these? Like, if you go on Dylan Dennis's Twitter page, you will see a picture every hour of Logan's fiance with a different guy. And the people are loving it because this man got 2 billion impressions in a month and sold out the event. The promotion is on a whole nother level, bro. But at the same time, Logan is going out sad. He's getting clowned for being with a girl that has allegedly been around the block. People are literally starting to call him a cuck. And man, I didn't know who Nina was before Logan, but when I saw her in his vlogs, I thought that she was a down-to-earth, sweet girl that's good for his spirit and that pushes him to be a better man. But little did we know.
I saw a football stadium full of people once.
Who hasn't?
Are there any foods that make either of you gag?
My gag
Look at the reaction
reflex
here.
is pretty strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to say, it'll take a lot.
Okay.
Holy, bro. Good luck. Bro, vet your girls, guys. The internet is real, bro. Vet your girls, man. Vet your girls heavy, man. You can't be out here committing to just anything, bro. Like, not anymore. Now, bro, barely any woman qualifies. You have to do some serious vetting nowadays, bro. They have TikTok videos because girls can't keep their mouth shut, even when they're hoes nowadays. Hoes used to keep their mouth shut and you know, try to keep a low profile, a low footprint, and just kind of just fade to the background. You know, we don't really know. Nowadays, bro, they're proud hoes. Proud hoes until they meet you, and then it's, oh, it was a mistake. I was going through something. It was just a phase of my life. I was going through a lot. You need to understand. It's all proud female empowerment until they meet you, and now all of a sudden they're sorry about taking random dicks and saying crazy stuff on the internet and doing wild stuff, bro. Vet your girls, bro, please.
You not having sex with me for the duration of time that you did was very important.
You thought something was wrong with me.
I'll be.
Oh, I forgot about that too. She was making homeboy wait, bro. Oh, they will go, and she has a track record. You can hear by the way she talks. You think this girl doesn't sleep with guys on the first date? Come on, bro. She probably doesn't even require a date. Just pull up to the crib, bro. She has that reputation, has that past, but she meets you. You see, she met the guy who she thought was good for a relationship. He has a good future, going places. She deems him as a guy worth committing to. All of a sudden, what does she do? She takes on virtuous characteristics. Oh, I need to wait until sex. I need to wait 3 months, couple of months until we have sex. I need you to invest. I'm not that kind of girl. Goes back to my first live stream. Women selling you false on women, bro. No. I'm giving you real life scenarios, bro, because it's happened so much, and guys aren't aware of it, bro. This is a prime example of it right here. Has a wild track record, because a lot of times you guys need to see this like from celebrities in order for you to actually take it seriously. Has a wild track record. Meets this guy, makes him.
when in reality she's not. It's the faking of the purity, bro. They always try to pull this and try to pass themselves off as something that they're not. Do your research, bro. Do your research on your girls.
Honest, I thought I did.
You talked to Mike about it.
I said this girl's perfect as far as I can tell. There's one unexplored venture.
Oh, it's not unexplored,
I have
bro.
reason to believe that there's probably something wrong with it, because if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Plenty men have explored, bro. Plenty men have explored.
So, if any of you guys know a good dick that doesn't have STDs on it, I'll take it. Right here.
And this is what Logan has to say about the situation.
Me and Nina are so open with each other. I knew she had long-term relationships her whole life. I knew some of them were very public.
Oh, really?
She's been famous for her entire adult life, like 11 years. She's been paparazzi, so none of this surprised me. And I know what kind of person she is. She knows what kind of person I am. And so, dog, you gotta understand, at one point I was the most hated person on the planet. Like, I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I'm so numb to it. I know who I am. I know who my girl is. I know we love each other.
Think so.
Some fucking internet troll posing as a fighter is not gonna get in between us.
So that is very well said by Logan. That is a great response to not give any ammunition to Dylan. But does he 100% feel this way? No, behind closed doors, he's probably crying. And I will say though, I do respect Logan's work ethic, because this man has been at the bottom. He has been in the line of fire so many times by the internet, but he just keeps coming back.
You knew everybody she dated, right?
Dude, there's like 5 of them.
There's a little bit more than 5. Logan. Come on now.
Well, that's the thing.
The pictures, if you look, they're just like repeat pictures, or half of them are...
Also, some bangers on there.
What are you talking about?
Like some good names on there.
Leo's impressive.
Son, yo, come on, bro.
She gotta go Rasta, I ain't gonna lie.
Leonardo DiCaprio is Nick.
Bro, can you imagine being a successful guy, doing everything in your power to create a good reputation for yourself, and you're an accomplished individual about to go into a fight, and instead of being on a podcast where the men sitting around you are respecting what you got going on in life and maybe business ventures and really just you, focusing in on you, they're talking about your girl and the high status men from her past that she used to have sex with, and how that's a like, oh my God, Leonardo DiCaprio, bro. Like, they're focusing on your girl instead of you. You built yourself up to be a respectable individual, but because of the woman you align yourself with, you didn't do anything wrong, but they're clowning you. You're paying for her actions. Bro, imagine that. He should be on this podcast with all 3 of those men, respecting him, talking about him in the best light. That's the kind of man, that's the kind of thing he's built up. That's the kind of repercussions and benefits that his worth ethic granted him, That's what the kind of stuff he should be reaping. Instead, he's reaping ridicule and dudes clowning him on a podcast about his girl. Bro. But remember, guys, the past doesn't matter. But I think I've made the point on that. I think I've made the point when it comes to it, because remember, I brought this up because previously the girl was talking about how it doesn't matter, how it doesn't have an effect on you in your present. Well, that was her past. These men are paying for it in the present. And don't let that be you. I just wanted to make that point.
Because they've been with more people, like...
What? You said it's objective?
I agree that sex is like spiritual connections. I'm not the type to just sleep around with anybody either. Like,
oh, trust me, she is. But guys, I made that point to just point out the reputational damage. There's so much more to a woman who's been around. That was just one major aspect that I wanted to point out. The reputational damage it can do to you as a man. That's one aspect. There's also other things that we're going to get into, but that's just one aspect I wanted to cover.
But some people choose to do that with their bodies, so that doesn't make them any less of a person or any...
It makes them less worthy
of being a girlfriend or any less loyal in a relationship.
Sure,
no, it doesn't.
Yes, I think somebody plays. Sorry, this is a metric by which men determine whether they want to be with a woman.
Some men, but in the
Most
end,
men.
at the
Some
end of the
men
day,
don't
if she
want a
never
woman that's
tells
ran
you,
through,
how would you
basically
ever
saying
know?
words like
Like that
Oh,
really
so you're a
isn't
liar. Okay.
At the end of the day, if she doesn't tell you, that doesn't change anything in your relationship. That doesn't make
Yes,
the
it
sex
does.
any better
Yes,
or
it
less.
does.
It does not make the love any more or less. It does
Oh,
not make her any
she's a
better or less a
liar.
person.
Yes, it
more or
changes-
less promiscuous or loyal in a relationship.
Here,
Yes, it
respond to
does.
Because that
this.
has nothing to do with the relationship
Here.
or
Yeah, yeah.
that specific person.
Okay, cool. So respond to this. You just said if
There's data that shows women with higher body counts are absolutely, by orders of magnitude, more likely to cheat in a relationship. There's absolutely studies on that. So that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. And it makes sense. Someone who views sex as casual and no big deal, yeah, they're going to be more inclined to just D somebody and they're in a relationship. Or a lot of times if they're having an issue with you, right? If you guys are having an argument, a lot of these girls, women who get around, a lot of times it's a byproduct of their trauma. And they will use their sexuality as a coping mechanism to handle their emotional issues. So they'll become hypersexual. So a woman who's used to dealing with problems by becoming hypersexual, and then you get into a relationship with her and you guys are, going through it at the moment, or maybe you guys had an argument, instead of coping like a normal woman should, she's gonna go and seek out what she's used to doing, which is becoming hypersexual, and that's when they'll cheat with the guy at work, or cheat with the guy best friend. Bro, you guys gotta understand this. Women who engage in just a promiscuous lifestyle have certain traits that are just gonna come back to bite you in the butt. And I know a lot of times it can seem like you're being judgmental, but remember, it's not. It's just putting yourself in the best position to get the best results out of life. That's all it is, bro. Why? Because you want to give yourself the best outcome and the best likelihood of getting to your destination safely. You want to have a successful marriage and a long-term marriage that stands the test of time. Well, guess what? You need to vet a girl for a lower body count, because that is going to absolutely affect on how your relationship plays out. All right? You would put on your seatbelt, so you better vet for a girl with a low body.
she doesn't tell you, okay, so if I ask her and she lies about it.
No, I'm saying that it's not the end of the world, because that's not a determining factor. It doesn't change anything physically in the relationship.
Yeah, she lied about it. You said if she doesn't
No,
tell
I'm
you.
saying at the end of the day, if you never knew what her body count is, what does that change in your relationship?
I can actually look. I'll even give you a scenario where this could
Just
be an
because
issue.
you don't
so
know.
a woman who has
Just because you don't know doesn't mean you're not gonna get the effects of a girl with 50. Like, what? Because you don't know doesn't mean you won't experience the effects? That's not a smart argument. You absolutely will still feel the effects. She could lie to you and tell you it's 1, but because it's 50, she's gonna move like a chick who has 50, which you are absolutely going to feel.
more connections with men, albeit this is kind of like one of the more like niche arguments that can be made. A woman who's made more connections with men, it's inevitable that she's landed on a fucking crazy dude. And if you're involved with a crazy fucking ex, then that's an issue for me.
That can be for girls who don't sleep around with people, who have just poor taste in men or just experienced bad men in their life. That doesn't equate to high body count either.
That wasn't the best
That doesn't
argument,
equate to high
Brian.
body count. People can have crazy exes
not
without
necessarily,
having body count
but you
50
think the
plus.
virgin woman who's never had a long-term
She can be
relation-
with an abusive man.
You gotta stop interrupting. The virgin woman, who do you think is more likely to have done the roulette until she's landed on a crazy fuck?
Ever encountered the one horrible, crazy,
My God,
abusive
bro, I can't
man.
argue with somebody who just immediately every time goes
That's
to
what
like the
happened to me.
exception to the rule. I just can't even have a conversation.
Maybe a virgin wouldn't know
virgin's never had
her
a chance spinning
self-worth
with a
or
crazy
like
dude,
what else is
period.
out there in the dating field to pick better men, and
Right.
the virgin is the one who ends up with those crazy exes because they don't have those sexual encounters with
Okay,
more
fine. Sounds
like
free.
me.
open
Wow.
That actually makes
Sounds
Brian's
like
point,
me.
though. I mean, from Brian's perspective, basically, you're just saying that the virgin should go out and have sex with more men so that she doesn't end up inexperienced with men she's not having sex with. That's what your argument there would reduce to.
Wait,
Oh, that went over her head.
You, yeah.
Oh wait, what were you saying?
So what
Yeah, I'll
are
repeat it.
look?
I'll
I
repeat
guess
it for you.
what are acceptable metrics that men are allowed to disqualify a woman on then?
Their past relationships. Have you cheated on your past partners when you're in like a loyal, committed, exclusive relationship? Like, have you gone through their phone, or have you been cheated on? Those are, I feel like,
Bro, you do. You think that they care about you, whether you're or not you. Do you think women care whether or not you approve of their standards or metrics? No, they're gonna have them as high as they want, as ridiculous as they want, and they don't care whether or not you deem them as valid. So, bro, you can have your standards as high as you want and hold whatever expectations you'd want for them. Don't let them dictate what's acceptable.
Like loyalty and such. But shouldn't.
What is considered toxic to you?
I think, not being respectful of like your opinions and
girl on your phone. Wouldn't you actually like get pissed off?
Oh yeah.
So,
my
but
past
you're doing
relationship
that
was
to
toxic,
him.
and that's why my ex broke up with me. I'm fully aware of that.
Okay.
And I know I have baggage that needs to be healed. I'm not dodging accountability whatsoever.
Last question on this. Do you think that it would be wrong for a guy to not want to date an ex-sex worker?
It's not wrong.
I think that's just preference too.
But it's in her past, right?
Yeah, so
She
I
stopped
think
doing it.
he
She's
should,
not doing it anymore.
Yeah, he should be open to the idea of like, she's a changed person. As long as she won't do that to you, shouldn't matter
disgusting.
what happened in her past. It was just her way of making money.
It's
not
just her
being
way of
disloyal
making
to you or
money.
disrespecting you, and it won't happen again.
For money become it's just. What? Like, the word it's just, like, minimizes it in such a way that, like, bro, that is monumental. That is, like, literally the lowest act a woman can engage in, is selling her body for money. And nowadays, it's become so common that we're saying, it's just her way of making money. It's just her way of making money. What? The lowest act a woman can do has become so normalized that we're just throwing it out like it's just a common thing. Bro, she's just making money. Like, she's just doing OnlyFans. It's just, what? Bro, that's huge. That's huge.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's get into more of the questionnaire stuff. Women should go 50-50 on a date. Bridget, you disagreed. Amelia, you disagreed. Emily also disagree.
Especially on a first date, that's crazy.
I think Deborah disagree. Tanya also disagree.
To be expected to pay 50-50 of the date that you're inviting her on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you're inviting me out to a date, why do I have to pay if you're the one initiating this?
Mm-hmm. So whoever asked should pay?
Yeah.
Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
No.
Personally,
Interesting
bro.
how that works.
But
It's
I
a very
would.
privileged.
Personally, I'm not really interested in the who should pay argument because I get it and I get why guys are upset. It's just the way it is, bro. Like, you're gonna have to pay. Like, arguing about who should pay. Okay, here's the facts. If you don't pay, they're gonna punish you for it because they're not gonna think you're as an attractive guy because you didn't provide. That's the bottom line, right? That's the bottom line of it. So if you're willing to lose a lot of women, okay, then hold the stance that you should go 50-50 or she should pay. But dating's already difficult, and that's just going to make it exponentially. Did I say that right? I definitely said that right. Exponentially more difficult. So it would be foolish for a man to hold that stance, like, regardless. And I know the argument is modern women, are they worthy of paying for the first date? They're feminists. They agree, regardless of their foolish beliefs, still want you to pay. And you should pay because it puts you in the better position as the man in the leadership role. She's going to view you as more attractive. And if you want a good result, then it's in your best interest to pay. So even if you're upset that you have to, just think about yourself. Do you want the best outcome you can have? Then pay. And just take her to a place you can afford. But I don't really want to get into the pay thing because that it's kind of like, bro, come on. Like, you got to do what you got to do as a guy, and part of that is paying. So let's kind of skip ahead of that if we can.
Man is leading properly.
Does it not say in the Torah or Bible or wherever you want to reference it as that a woman should submit to a husband who is worthy
and loyal and provider?
Is that not a biblical value?
It is, because I'm very religious.
That a man should, and that's what I was saying beforehand, where their fault, things that came before them. What it means, I don't want to speak for men, but overall, I think if there has been a decline on both sides of gender roles, and this is by design in our society to take away gender roles and say that there's no difference between a man and a woman, which I vehemently disagree with. And overall,
I don't think there's been a decline on the men's side. I don't think so, because most men, right? Most men are still, quite conservative. In fact, we found that women are more than ever skewing to like the liberal side of things, and men more than ever skewing to more the conservative side of things. So I think men, even if they're not actively doing it, are far more willing, and many of them want. I mean, many of them, one of the major concerns in dating is that women aren't traditional anymore. So there is absolutely men, a lot of men, willing and wanting to take on their traditional roles, but they just want a fair exchange for that. So, yeah, no, I would disagree. There's been a decline on the female side as more women become liberal, not on the men's side. Men absolutely want to take on their role.
I think that men should be worthy leaders. There's a lot of crazy men, just like there's a lot of crazy women, but...
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Did you... What's that?
I just didn't go back over there and put
Okay,
it back
that's
after
fine.
that.
Go ahead.
The picture.
Sorry, Deborah. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I stand by what I said, which I think that what it comes down to, a man who can provide, protect, and show that he is a strong leader absolutely deserves a woman who can trust him. And this is, I think, a big misalignment within society where I think deep down women really do want to submit to men. They want to be able, as we say in girl world,
I don't think so.
Just turn your brain off when you're on sourdough and nails and stuff like that. Clearly you don't understand jokes, but that's just my style when it comes to speaking. I think embracing your femininity, women, because we've been pushed into the workforce and had to unconsciously or unwillingly.
Bro, when women say embracing their femininity, all they really mean is being pampered princesses. When modern women talk about embracing their femininity and, being submissive, they're just talking about staying at home, the man paying all the bills, and them not having to do anything. That's where the whole, what was it called? It was called the, crap, I forgot the name. It was this whole movement of girls talking about embracing their femininity, bro. I forgot what it was called. I think it'll come back to me, bro. But it was just a bunch of chicks talking about, just embracing their femininity is just them trying to paint femininity as just doing nothing, being basically a princess who's pampered and doesn't have to pay for anything, and a guy's just doting on her, buying her stuff, and she's just feminine, just cushed with her little made nails and made up hair and makeup, and all she has to do is sit on the couch and watch TV and come home, give him a kiss on the cheek and maybe some sex. Their feminine energy. To them, feminine means useless. Just being around and being pretty, and that's them being in their soft girl era, just basking in their femininity, just being a useless, dolled up sex toy trophy wife. That's them. Not a useful woman that's going to actually, be reliable and actually be able to assist you in the daily task and the daily grind and actually build something. Because when you have a partner, bro, she needs to be reliable. You could take her out on the weekends and take her back home like she's a flashy Corvette. Like, bro, I don't buy this modern day femininity basking soft girl era BS.
Willingly take on a lot of the male roles, like being the provider, being the protectors, things of that nature, has led women to not be able to embrace their femininity. And so I think in a good relationship, a man will be able to embrace and flourish in his masculinity, and the same with the woman. And whatever that means, being a homekeeper, being a matriarch, being a really soft landing space for her husband to land on. And
if that is the case, and this is what you believe, if you actually wanted men to have the authority inside of society, and the responsibility, why would you advocate that women could vote?
Because I think you keep deleting the most important part of this, which is that not every single man right now and at large, there is a problem too. There are a lot of factors that lead into men. This is like the man or the bear question, if we get to that, that I think not every man right now, just being a man doesn't inherently make you worthy of being a leader. I think that you have to show that you are a leader, and this is true across the history of the world. Every single shepherd in the Torah, in the original book, was chosen for a lot of their specific qualities. There's a reason why those men were chosen to be leaders. Same with Donald Trump. There may be
But here's the problem with that. Women are choosing the men, right? They get into a relationship with the man and then won't follow the man's lead. If you agree to make that man your boyfriend, if you agree to make that man your husband, you should have been doing all the vetting and all the, the same way he's vetting you. You should have your prerequisites that you are looking for, and you should be making sure that he fits that bill. And if you choose to sign off on him and say, okay, he's worthy of being my boyfriend, and then take it even a step further and say, okay, cool, he's worthy of being a man that you chose. You chose. No one forced you. It wasn't one of those marriages, assigned marriages. You chose him of your own free will. And then you now say, oh, he's not worthy of leading. And now you're giving him pushback in the relationship and just being combative and just being difficult. And I'll listen to him sometimes, but not all the time. It's like, you chose him. You already gave him the check mark of approval. And if he wasn't worthy of following, then why did you choose him? Why did you commit to him? Why did you say yes? It makes no sense. Women will get with you, which in a man's mind is like, okay, she views me as a man worthy of, listening to. But then you get in a relationship with them, and it's nothing but headaches, nothing but combativeness. So that's the problem. That's the problem. If you don't think a man is worthy of committing to, if you don't think he's worthy of leading you, then why are you committing to him? You can't say men are not worthy of leading, but you chose him and you married him. Or you're in a relationship with him. If he's not worthy, then leave. Don't stay there and complain and be a headache and be problematic. Go find a man who's worthy.
Other men who share similar qualities to him, but there's a reason why he was chose to lead as opposed to any random guy that you can maybe find on the side of the street in LA who's catcalling women. I think that men who are worthy and live up to what it means to be leaders and protectors and also have kind hearts, not softies, but just overall good men, in my definition of it, I think those men are worth leading. And I don't think just because you're a man that automatically makes you a perfect, amazing leader. We've seen that throughout all of society. So
how is this argument not actually contradictory? Because you're saying essentially that you need to reduce men's authority because you don't think that they're in a good position to lead women. You don't think that men in society are good enough leaders, and since they're not good enough leaders, you need to have authority so that.
When did I say? And sorry to cut you off, but
I'm saying this is.
When did I say any of that?
I'm explaining. This is an logical entailment of your argument. If you say to me, I'm advocating that women be able to vote because there's too many men in society who, if we give authority to, are going to lead me wrong, then you're actually saying that you need to have authority so that you can determine who's a leader and who isn't a leader, that actually is stripping authority away from men. Like, this is the logical entailment. I don't see a way around
interpreting it and saying what you want to say. I've said a million times.
What's illogical about what I'm saying?
I didn't say the word illogical. You keep taking what I say and then just changing what I'm saying and then saying, so you're saying this. And then when I say, no, I didn't say that. When did I say we should take power away from men? When did I say that we should take power away from men? When did I say that? Once.
It's entailment.
I'm showing you the entailment of the logic. Here,
if you are saying that with power, then them needing to vote, if the women need to vote, they're taking the power away from the man. Because if men used to have, unilateral, authority over the voting, but if you're in there, you're stripping their unilateral authority to lead because your vote can negate theirs, which we see all the time when women vote, liberal and lead the country down a certain path in terms of policies and stuff. So their vote can absolutely affect that man's ability to lead if there is a majority of women moving in a certain direction. So yes, the entailment is that you are hindering that man's leadership by being able to put your two-piece and your opinion in and vote in this situation. But she's not getting that. She's just going off of the words she's saying. But the words you say have entailments to it. But she's not thinking about what her words actually mean and how it actually play out in society in a real sense. She's just going off the exact words.
I'll literally break down really, really simple. Here, I'll show you. So premise one.
I don't need you to show me. I need you to tell me when I said that, because I'm saying what I say, and you're telling me what you think I genuinely believe, and you still talk over him. It's because I'm a woman who wants to have men removed from society.
Look, I've moderated Andrew tonight. You got to let him finish.
How many times can you tell me what I think I said and what I think I mean?
Hear him out.
Hear him out.
Keep saying that, though.
Okay, stop. Just go ahead, Andrew.
How's she so upset already?
It's just like this. Just premise one, men need to lead. Okay, premise two, in order for men to lead, they need to have authority. Premise three, women need to vote. Premise four, why this authority? That's the entire syllogism. So then the conclusion is men are not capable of leading, so women need to have authority so that they can pick the men that need to lead them. So it's actually stripping authority away from men. I don't know a way around that.
Exactly.
Like I'm literally reducing
and you still haven't addressed. Again, that was not what I said. I didn't say
that is what you said.
To lead. I said they should lead. Ideally, men should be the leaders of society. But I don't think you still won't address a decline in what it means to be a man in terms of masculinity, in terms of chivalry, everything like that. Across the board, there has been a decline. So if you agree with me that men are not, and this isn't only a male thing, but just speaking about men as leaders, that men at large, there has been a decline of what men's role in society has been, what they feel to be a man, and all of that combined means that right now, doesn't mean we should take authority away from men. It's the one thing you won't address is that I think we as a society, as women, as men, as Americans, as whatever, should work towards getting back to a place where men and women are more strong and embrace their femininity and their masculinity. And I think that will lead us to a better place where women who can embrace their femininity will naturally approach matriarchy. They will naturally say, wait, maybe, you know what? I actually don't love my corporate job. I know a lot of women who have convinced themselves that
she actually isn't like talking about the point being made. The point being made is that if you think women should vote, then and you think they should vote because there aren't enough men who are leaders, then the women voting, you think that you're using the women voting as a solution to the men not being adequate leaders. Cool. Well, your solution to the problem strips men of their authority. Your solution strips men of their authority, which will actually have an effect on their ability to lead effectively. That's what his point is, and she's not understanding that. Your solution affects the man's ability to lead, rambling on a point that he wasn't actually talking about. Holy, bro. I don't know if I can stand much more of this. I'm going to see if she can actually come to it. If not, bro, good Lord.
Being powerful and that they need to work for 30 years and make $1 million and then they'll have kids in their 40s. And then I personally don't agree with that. And I think that if we as a society get back to a place where originally women were not expected to be in the workforce, things of that nature, then men hopefully can recover in whatever that means to them, and masculinity can become something that means more to them. I'm almost done. You can wait. All that toxic masculinity stuff has taught men to feel bad about themselves and not embrace their masculinity. So I think the most important part of this is not stripping away power from men or saying women are better to lead. I think we need to focus on fixing that issue, whether it's through strong fatherhood, whether it's through stopping this idea that everybody's saying toxic masculinity anytime a man.
Well, why don't we fix that idea through making women not vote? Like, why is so you want to fix it through all these other means, which I'm not disagreeing with. It can be fixed through or improved through other means, but why can't it improve also through through women not voting? That's just an argument. That's not even necessarily my stance. I'm still thinking through the women not voting talking point. That's been going around the manosphere for, I'll say, quite a while now, in the past like year. Been really brought up a lot about women not being able to vote. And I'm still thinking that through, because there is a lot of like downstream effects of women voting and how they vote and the laws being made and the policies being made and its effect on society. You know, we can all see that. I mean, we just saw from the last election the way women were voting for Kamala Harris, and what would have came as a byproduct had that come into fruition, had she become president. The laws, we would have a wild world in the next 4 years had she become president. It would have been very different than the one Trump is trying to move us towards. So I'm still thinking through that. You know, like I said, I made a video today about thinking for yourself, and a lot of people have given their 2 piece on the voting issue, but I'm not just going to jump on the bandwagon and be like, well, everybody else is saying women shouldn't vote, so I'm just going to, you know, say that too. So no, I'm going to think through it for myself. I'm going to think through it for myself, and if I ever come to a conclusion that women shouldn't vote, it's going to be from my own thoughts, and I'm going to be able to actually tell, you know, for my own thing of having thought it through and articulate to you guys why I think they should or shouldn't be able to, or maybe the law start screaming what everybody else is saying. That's just not how I do things. But I'm just going off of his argument right now and the fact that she's just not getting it at all. And I bet he's going to come back and tell her, like, you didn't get what I was trying to say. And she's probably going to freak out.
Wants to actually act like a man, opening the door for a woman, and a woman gets offended. I think moving away from that as a society will get us to a place where men at large will be better equipped to lead society. And it doesn't mean that right now, I'm not saying if I really meant it, I would say it. I'm not having any secret arguments. I'm saying what I mean, which is the step one, I think ideally, men should be the leaders. And the step to get there is to fix masculinity. That's what I'm saying.
So to address, you keep saying I want to address this argument, but the argument was my premise. So the thing is when you say, okay, but you haven't addressed what's going on with men in society and the lower testosterone, and the fact you see a failure in men in societies because they have all the responsibility without the authority.
No authority.
They have the responsibility absent the authority. So I say, okay, so how do we fix that? How do we?
Exactly. So if they don't have the authority, why would they step up? Why would they step up if stepping up means I have responsibility but no authority? The authority in some cases is a privilege, and in some cases is a consequence, right? Is a burden. In some cases it's a privilege, and in some cases it's a burden. But if they have the responsibility, right? Well, the authority, it comes with some perks, but it also comes with some burdens, some like serious responsibilities that you have to, privilege or no greater authority that comes with a man stepping up and taking charge. Then why would he step up? He's going to be like, yeah, that's not really a worthwhile endeavor to step up, because I'm just going to be putting in all this effort and getting nothing really in return. So I might as well just stay in my little corner and do what feels good to me, because at least then I'll be getting some kind of reward from the life, burden of performance. What do I get out of that? I have to share the authority with a woman who doesn't have the same burden of performance as me, and she gets to have that authority for free? She doesn't even have to join the selective service, and she gets all the perks and benefits that I get. And if I don't sign up, I can go to jail. I have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. So why would I step up? Nah, I'm not going to step up. That's a raw deal. That the very solution that she's, posing for women to vote because men are not adequate right now is the very thing that's leading men to not view stepping up as a good idea. That's why you see the situation we're in right now. But she is going right over her head. Or she doesn't understand. I was going to say she understands, but she's playing dumb, because women do that a lot. I don't think she's playing dumb. I just think she doesn't get it.
Fix the idea here that you have additional responsibilities without authority. Your premise here is, well, we need to move back to all of these things, which are preambles to women voting, by the way. That all of these things that you're pointing to, this is pre-women's suffrage. You would say that men, right, who have this additional responsibility as leaders, right, you wouldn't want them to have the authority to exercise that responsibility. That seems like it's ultimately what you want. What's going on is you have an actual internal conflict here. The conflict is, I want to be a strong, empowered woman while at the same time advocating that there's a patriarchy. It's like you can't have both.
You don't know that.
Hang on. To lead, or it is not. And if you say it's not empowered with the authority to lead, women need to be able to select the leaders. You have a matriarchy then, not a patriarchy.
Exactly.
You have a second class that has additional responsibilities women don't have, but have a limited amount of authority or equal authority to women. That's the opposite of patriarchy. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
I just don't understand what position or where you're coming from, where you don't know anything about my values before the show. Maybe you follow me. I don't know.
He's listening, bro. He's just taking your words. He's only using your words and then showing you how that would play out in reality. That's it. She's not getting it. She's taking it as a personal attack. It's not personal. He's just giving you an entailment of what you're saying.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're saying the opposite of what I say every single time, and that's why it's just so frustrating about women onto me, somebody that you clearly don't know much about, or you can happily look through my social media.
Okay. She wants to be an empowered woman, but her viewpoint behind it, I'll agree, isn't the feminist argument. Most women want to be an empowered woman from a standpoint of taking power from men. I understand where she's coming from because she's saying, I want to be an empowered woman, but my viewpoint, my reason for that isn't taking power from men. I get that. Most women view it, they want to take power from men, that's why I want to be empowered. She doesn't. But the outcome is still the same. Your empowerment isn't just for you, it's going to be for the other women as well, and in play, right? Whether your viewpoint is from the feminist mindset or not, is going to limit men's authority. That's what she's not getting. She's just viewing, well, I'm not a feminist. My viewpoints are different than theirs, even though what I want is the same as theirs. Even though you have different perspectives, you wanting the thing and you wanting the right to vote and the power is going to have the same effect, whether you're a feminist or not, because it strips men of their authority. And that she's not getting that. So she's viewing it as a personal attack when she's just not grasping it, bro. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to talk to women and get them to understand the larger picture when it comes to things. And that's not me. I don't know. It's just the way we think when it comes to the larger, details.
To your arguments.
And based off of that, you are saying, finally said it right for everybody else, but you're telling me that based off absolutely what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Logic. I'm showing you logic.
No, that's not logic. That is you trying to push what you think about women onto me, trying to catch me in something.
I'm just showing you a logical position.
What have I said? Or what have I displayed throughout my life that shows that I want to be an empowered woman where men are on the sidelines and don't have power?
You are advocating that women vote. If you advocate women vote, the entailment is women have authority.
Well, women can vote.
Hang on. I'm answering your question. So it's the opposite of a patriarchy. That's no longer a patriarchy.
Exactly.
So if men have additional responsibility, right? But they only have equal authority, then they don't have the authority to lead. They don't have the authority to lead because you can negate their authority anytime you want. That's the entailment of your logic. When you say, what have I displayed in my personal life, has nothing to do with the logic of your argument. It's an illogical argument. It makes no sense. Either you want men and a patriarchy, so you want men to have the authority to lead, equal with them in political status for them to lead. That's the opposite of your own position. It makes no sense.
No, I don't live in a fantasy world. I live in the current world where women do have the right to vote. And if you are advocating for women losing the right to vote, that is something that I don't agree with. And I don't know why you think women shouldn't vote. If I think men should lead us right now, it's not an option in front of me. Should women not have the right to vote? Women have the right to vote. This isn't the 1800s like a lot of people want us to go back to, apparently. This is modern history. And if you're asking me if I would repeal this, no, I would absolutely not. If I think in an ideal society, men should be the leaders of society, yes, but I don't understand why you think you're catching me.
How are they supposed to lead? How are they supposed to lead when they don't have the power to lead because your vote can negate theirs. So they're not in a leadership position even now. And even if they were to step up and like take on more of a leadership role in society, there's no incentive for them to do that because you get all the incentives for free. While as they would just be taking on additional burden. Bro, she's not getting it. She wants a society where women are empowered, but they somehow all are in alignment with the patriarchy. Like that's not gonna happen, bro. Like where they have the right to vote, but they don't vote Democrat or they don't lean, liberal. Like the females naturally, unfortunately, are going against where men want to lead. Women want to go in a completely other direction. So them having the right to lead can throw off what men actually want to do and the place men actually want to take the country and take society. Them having that ability is absolutely a negation of men's ability to lead. She's not getting that. She's trying to paint a society where women still have the power, but they are advocating for men to. That's a wild world. That I don't even know how that would even come about. The only way for the society to go the direction men desire it to is if they have the power to enact their authority without women throwing in their vote to negate it. That's literally it.
How do I want them to lead?
Without authority to lead, how?
Well, why do you think that you said it yourself, that the only reason the downfall of masculinity and all this stuff is because men don't have the authority to exercise their leadership?
Correct, yeah.
That's the only reason that men and masculinity has declined? That's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous.
It's not. All the things that you would consider. Like if I told you to point to a time where you thought men were strong leaders, you'd point to
the greatest generation that my grandpa's in.
Hang on. You would point to pre-suffrage. If I asked you when were men better men, you'd point to pre-suffrage. If I asked you any of these things, you would point to pre-suffrage.
How do you know? You haven't asked me. This is exactly what you've been doing the whole time. You have this idea.
When were men better men? Tell me.
Yeah,
Answer.
Men better men. I'm asking you. You want me to ask you? I'm asking you. When were men better men?
But this is why.
Just answer the question.
Not even, I could go back and forth with you, but everything I've said this entire time, I give you a solid answer, and you flip it and say, "Well, you think this, you think that," because you're just trying to.
Men were men better men. Just answer, please.
Entertain this anymore.
You want to answer? You're not going to answer.
Because it doesn't matter what I answer to you. You think you know what I believe, and you're going to tell me what I actually think. Despite every other question you've asked me, you've had the same reaction, and so I just don't think there's any point of me telling you something, because whatever I say,
you brought it up, and so I'm engaging
I've said
with
1,000 times what I think, and you keep telling me I'm on undercover this, or I really think this or that.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay, nice.
When were men better men?
She doesn't want to answer that because she knows the ideal man she has in her head, that time period that she wants to bring men back to. She's going to have to look at the societal standing of what was going on at that time. What role did men have? What role did women have? How were the politics like? What was the policies? She's going to have to take a real view of that time period and compare it to now. Were men in power? Did men have the authority? She's going to have to do that, and she doesn't want to. That's why she doesn't want to engage with that question, because she knows that whatever time period she chooses, the men are going to have far more authority than they do now. And that's why she's shutting down. That's why she's shutting down. But you know what? I already can tell that. So... And I think it's very interesting. I'm probably going to watch the rest of that later, but just to see how that wraps up. But I think that is, that's all I can do for this live stream tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got value from it. I'm going to be doing more live streams like this. I enjoy it. I enjoy reacting to it live. It's interesting. It's interesting. If you guys are watching this live, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please go ahead and leave a like. And if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get the channel to 1,000 subscribers in the next couple of months. So I'd really appreciate your guys' help with that.
And yeah, stay tuned for more live streams, more videos. I'm going to be posting a lot more frequently. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And until next time, guys, take it easy.